Show you how to make a really basic thing like here, and I think if you get what I'm doing here, you'll be able to do anything you want, because the pattern, this first step, making a pattern is the most important part, because if you have a good pattern, the rest is really easy. You just have to craft it, and you will have the really good armor stuff. Okay, do we have the, can we have a camera here? Yeah? Yeah? Okay, all right. So, okay, I have just a simple piece of paper, and I'm gonna draw my, I don't know, pattern, gauntlet, I don't know, something for the arm. And yeah, I just need to make something. This time it will be something from my imagination, but normally when you work with cosplay, you have to be as accurate as you can be. So yeah, this is kind of worse, right? But it takes a lot of time, so for now, I'm just doing something from my imagination. Yeah, so we start drawing. Like sketching, you don't have to be very precise. You can just experiment. Yeah, so this is the basic shape. This is the basic shape. And there's nothing special about it yet. And yeah, remember that when you work on something that is symmetrical, you can just bend your paper in a half. And when you're sketching, you just sketch to get the right feeling of it. But the most important is one part, just only one side of it. So just remember about this. So okay, we have the simple one, and we want to make it look more cool. So yeah, we can get a frame around it, something like that. So I basically draw the line here. I'll do something triangle here. Yeah. Okay, something like this. And on the bottom as well. Really don't care about the symmetrically, because you'll get the symmetrical thing when you'll be cutting it off. Something like that. And let's add some things here inside, because it's really boring. Yeah, it got some eyes in here. And now it got some mustache, it looks like. And don't worry if this part is different from this part. As I said, you just need to concentrate on one side when you're preparing a symmetrical pattern. I'm going to add some more. Okay, so yeah, this is my my side that I'll be using. You can always sketch something like this here to get the feeling how it will look like, but you don't have to if you don't want. So what are we going to do right now? Yeah, we get the scissors and we cut the shape, the full shape out on this side that you want it. Okay. So here we go. This is our shape. And yeah, it will look like this. Something like this. And yeah, this should be our base that will be gluing on the rest of the details. So the first thing we have to do is to make the base. I will use the Eva foam that it's, I think, 4 millimeters thick. Yeah, for the base. And we're gonna draw the same shape on our foam. Yes. Okay, so we got our shape here, and yeah, we have to cut it out. You can use the really sharp knives for it. Yeah. Okay. What's happening? Fine. Okay. Really sharp knives, like those used in hospitals. I don't know how you say it in English, but those really sharp ones. Or you can use the scissors. When scissors are really easy to work with when you have a big shape like this. When you have something smaller than this one, it's going to be very complicated, so it's really good to have the knives. But working with a knife, it's, yeah, it contains a lot of work, a lot of practice to do it good and to feel with it good. But still, I think it's kind of good. Okay, so this is our shape. Something like this. And what do we do now? I think we might start with the frames here and here. So we have to cut this out. Okay, so we have those two. And we have our shape getting smaller and smaller. And yeah, the thing is that we will be making those details from the other foam. This is kind of 2 millimeters thick. So, so yeah, I think if you use the less thick foam, it's good for your details. Yes, so we're doing the same thing. One is done, the other one. try to draw on your form wisely. Like you will save some materials if you draw it here, but not here, right? Because it will save your space and your money and your time, I think. So think a lot when you're drawing and cutting stuff. And actually, that rule is about everything in cosplay, in fabrics and wigs. When you cut your wig, just try to cut it very slow, bit by bit, not too much. We're cutting it out. And building props with the foam may be very messy, so try to tidy your place as often as you can, so you won't get annoyed by all those scratches here. Okay, so we have our frames. And the garbage goes here. And what's going to be done next? We still have some details to do, but the first thing that I want you to remember is that, okay, I have this, and I can cut this, but yeah, I have to know where should I put all my details when I got those cuts. So I just take those patterns that I cut before, and I will draw the line here on my base that I will know where it ends and where I should glue it afterwards. Okay. And the other one as well, on the bottom. Okay, so it looks like this. Don't bother about the lines because we will paint it afterwards. And okay, so we can go through and make some more. Okay, so we're gonna cut out this window, but we don't want to mess the whole pattern that we'll be drawing after. So what I'm doing is bending the paper a bit and making a small cut. So we have here. And basically I just cut this out from the inside. So I won't distract the pattern at all. Yeah. And yeah, it should be on this side. Okay, this one is kind of symmetrical, so I can do the same. So we got this mustache here. And yeah, this is our pattern. And it's good that it will be in a one part because we have to check out where we have to glue the details. 2 to go. I'm doing the same. Whoops. Whoops. The color of the foam doesn't matter actually because we will still paint it. So, and I know that some of the props before the paint may look very awkward because you use a lot of things that are not supposed to be used in making a gun or something. Sometimes I use the bottles, the cans, some other weird things, and it looks really, really funny without paint on it. Okay, so we have this this pattern, and we save those. We save those because we will need this, and we draw our lines here to know where to glue the rest. You don't have to. You don't have to make all the lines if you have a lot of things to do and not much time. You can just make some corners. Like here. You have the corners, so you know where to put it. The best way to get your armor pattern is, yeah, that tutorial I showed you before. Getting some tape and tape your arm and then draw the shape you want and then cut it. And it should be perfect for you. Great fit. But be careful with the scissors while cutting this, because you may get hurt. Alrighty. Just this side more. Okay, so it looks like here, and it's ready to be glued. But still, we have some more details to do. And yeah, this may be good for this. So remember about those scraps. Think about if they can be used or not anymore. Sometimes you need that small things. Yeah, I can do even 3 with this one. Did you imagine? Yeah, so we have like 3 here. And we still need some more. And the big shape, of course. Okay, so this again. I know it's kind of boring drawing all those lines and cutting it out, but this is a great moment to watch your favorite series on your computer because you don't have to think much about this. You can just sit like a zombie and yeah. If you practice a bit, you won't even know that you did something. It's like, oh yeah, it's done. So, okay, I think I have everything here. So yeah, I can just now get this out. Do you guys have some stores that sell Eva foam in Norway? Yeah? Or Plastazote, something like this? Because in some countries they don't have it, so you have to buy it somewhere else. The big one would be kind of tricky. We have the yellow mustache, yes. Free to go, free to go. Are you guys cosplayers? Who is a cosplayer? Raise your hand, yeah. And we have a lot of people who are gonna be a cosplayers. Yay, yay. You have a cool hat there. Yeah. Actually, I thought that some more people in cosplays would be here. I know that today is the cosplay day, but still, in Poland, people are crazy, crazy at the gaming events. Like, so many cosplayers. Okay, so we have our puzzles here. Be sure that you have everything. And how do we glue it? Yeah. Most basically, we glue it with super glue. Super glue, yeah. You have a lot of brands of super glue, and you have to search for the best one because there are some bad ones and some good ones. And of course, those better ones are more expensive, but I think it's worth it because it may annoy you how long it takes to glue something onto, and yeah. Okay, let's see if it works. Okay. And to make a hole in it. Just be careful. Okay. As I thought. It's one of the cheaper ones. Okay. And of course, be very careful with that because you may stick your fingers together. And yeah, we basically glue our shapes into the foam. The first small piece to get it in one place. And then when it's done, just glue the rest of it. You can glue it with hot glue as well, but it's kind of messy, and as foam is a thermoactive material, it can bend and won't look very good if you overheat the glue. So I prefer to glue it with super glue. It won't fall off or anything, so. And it's super fast, of course, so. It's kind of handy because it's small, especially for the small details. All right. Mustache. It's glued. Always try to start from the middle, because sometimes you may do something wrong, and it may be longer or shorter, but it's really good to start from the middle, so you will know that it's longer or shorter. If you glue it from here, this part would be here or something like that. So please always start with the middle, if you can, of course, if it's symmetrical. But if it's not, try to spot the center of the whole piece to do it. Yeah. Of course, there's not only one tutorial for the EVA foam armor. It's the way I used to do it, how I experienced it. And yeah. Be careful to not use too much glue because it won't stick to each other. Okay, how can you paint the whole thing when it's done? Well, you have to prime it. You have to, because this is foam. This is like a sponge, so it will absorb any paint that you will try to paint it with. The spray paint, the acrylics, all the oil. I don't know, whatever you use. So you have to close all those little holes in that sponge in some way. And you have a lot of opportunities and ways to do that. The most common and the most popular way is to cover it with the wood glue, white glue, PVA. That white that becomes transparent after drying. And you put the glue on a brush. You may add some water to to make it better consistency. Yeah, it should be like, well, how do you say it? A little bit milky consistency, something like that. More liquid than stable, yeah. And then you just paint it. You paint it with a brush. And of course, after one cover, it will be primed, so you can paint it. But I recommend to get some more layers, like 4 or 5 even, to get it more thick and more stable, more durable, because it's kind of elastic in a way. So it will help your armor look really stable, and it won't break that easily. Okay, so that was the one of the ways, and you have some other options like Plastidip. Plastidip is something like a rubber in a spray can, so you can spray it over, and it's used to make cars look more cool, I think. And yeah, when you have your tools and those handles are covered with rubber, so you may use that for this as well. And yeah, it's also very cool, and it lets you make things that may look like leather. I use it when I want my armor to look leather-like. Because it has some texture. It's not that shiny and smooth as wood glue, so that gives you a little bit texture of something. But it's really good primer because it's really durable. You can do something like this and nothing will crack, nothing like, because we still have some cracks if you unbend it. This is covered with wood glue, so you have those cracks here. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but if you want to, you can continue for
Yeah.
1 more hour. Do you want
Really?
to? Yeah.
So it's free.
Yeah.
It's 3 hour.
1 more hour if you want.
I don't think so. It will be that long. But yeah. Okay. Thank you. All right. So yeah, I just got an information that we have some more time. So if you have more questions, we can talk about it, and I will show you some things on the internet. Okay. So yeah, this EVA foam with the wood glue, if you unbend it, it cracks. But if you use Plastidip instead, it won't. So it's really good if you have to perform in your costume a lot. You have to walk in your costume a lot. So, but this is kind of expensive. It's more expensive than wood glue. And of course, there are some more ways that every crafter have its own way to do it. You can use just a primer. You know, that's gray primer in the can. If you put a lot of layers on it, it also become durable. And oh no, wrong side. Yeah, always remember about this because I put the glue on the other side. It always happens. Try to get rid of it. Oh, if something like that happens, you may use the sandpaper, the really light sandpaper, to clean it up. Okay. Two more to go. Okay. It don't fit, so I think I made a mistake somewhere. Maybe now. Yeah, now it's good. Okay, so yeah, this is it. We have everything in a place that we wanted. Yeah, and a lot of you probably want to make your armor looks a little bit damaged. So it's not that brand new armor from the armor shop. And you can use some things to do that. You can just paint it that way. There are a lot of tutorials in the internet to paint it that way, but you also can damage it a bit. And I basically used a hot knife. I don't know if you have that tool, if you know that tool that you put in a contact and you have that tip, like pen, and it becomes hot, and you can melt the foam. So I basically melt the foam with the tip I want, because it becomes with a lot of different tips. The wide, the narrow, round, shaped, I don't know, a lot of shapes. So whatever you want, you may use it, and just damage your stuff a bit before priming, before you start priming anything. Okay, I might use a contact here, but I don't know if we have any, because I would love to show you the bending, the magic parts. Do we have any? All right. Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's okay, thank you. That fell off. Okay, so this is a heat gun, and it's kind of cheap, I think. I don't know. I bought this one for 60 kroners, I think. So it's not that bad. And yeah, I will show you how it looks like. It has two power. So you have to choose. This is more powerful than this one. And yeah, of course, be careful with that, because it's really, really hot. It's like a hair dryer, but a lot stronger. And yeah, don't dry your hair with this one. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. So yeah, for doing this, use something that is wooden, or something like this, yes, on the stage. Because if you melt the plastic or carpet or something, it won't be a return from that shape. So, okay. And you might not be able to see that, but even from the heat, the foam closes itself and became smoother, because this part is like very fluffy, like sponge, and this part is kind of more durable right now, and yeah, it's more smooth. I will show you afterwards. Yeah, so we're getting it heat it up. Yay. And we just bend it. We bend it a lot, even more than we need, because it's not a plastic, so it will unfold a bit. So we have to do something more than just, yeah, we bend it this way. And you can see that it's not glued good here, so we have to glue it after. And we basically wait till it gets cooler. It's still warm. So yeah, Evafoam is that kind of a thermoactive materials that that gets warm and cools a little bit longer than Worbla or Wonderflex, because Wonderflex gets hard very fast. Wonderflex takes some more time. Okay, so yeah, it stays in this shape. If you had a more thicker foam, this is only 4 millimeters, but if you get 10 millimeters foam, you can do amazing things. You can bend it all of the sides. If you have, I don't know, this, and we put it here, the hot foam, we might get the shape of this. If it's wide enough to do that, because if you have this thin one, it won't happen because it's too thin and it will break. So. Okay, so yeah, this is how it goes, and as you can see, it's still it's flying around. So to make it more stable, more durable, you can use a wire here. You can glue the wire here and here with hot glue, for example. But be careful with that, because as I told you, it may make some bumps on the other side, and you won't like it. I personally use Worbla for that. I'm not a big fan of Worbla things, but I use it to make stable all of my foam creations. So I just glue it here, a part of it. So it's durable and stable. And yes, and this is the moment that you can paint your foam with wood glue. And yeah, and remember that if you want to apply more layers than one, you have to wait till the first layer will completely dry, because if you're in a rush and if you want to cover the next layer on the undried layer, you will mess everything up, because it's still in a process of drying, so it will look really bad. And yeah, so remember about drying. And yes, how can you paint it like that? After applying the wood glue, you may apply the normal basic color that you want your armor to be. If it's going to be dark like this, cover it with dark, probably black spray, even primer spray. And if you want, I don't know, something more bright, like white armor, there are some white armors, right? So trying to find a spray in this color, more bright. And afterwards, do you know that dry brush dry brush painting technique. You know that? You have some paints and you have a brush and you get some paint on a brush, but just a little. Even if it's too much, you just paint on your paper to get just only slightly a little bit of color, and then you just brush your foam with your brush, and a lot of color will stay on it. It will be really, really fadey, but if you make a lot of layers, like 10 or 15, adding some more bright colors, it will make really nicely 3D effect. And if you want something to pop up more, you can use the brighter paint on the edges, like here, but not inside. Not inside. It should stay very dark inside. So on the top of the edges, yes, and it will probably look better. And yes, and if you want to, you can cover it with shiny, transparent acrylic spray. So it will be really glossy and really shiny and armor-like, something like this. Yeah. And oh, I might try to do something more. So there's something I want to show you. I'm not sure if I can, because I don't have any knife to do that. But if you have a sharp knife and you have a kinda thick foam, you may make some patterns without this. I'll try to show you. Yes, you just have to make your pattern or something. Let's say that this is your pattern. And you have to cut those lines a bit. Just a bit. Not to the other side, just a bit. And of course, it's really easy to do with knife. Okay, so you see that there are some cuts on it, and we take the heat gun again, and we just heat this up. As you can see, it opens up. It opens up, and it's visible, and it's a pattern. So if you want, you can make some patterns like that. I think it's kind of cool. Especially when you bend it, it opens much more. Okay, if you want, I can show you what I've done with this technique, the same thing. So yeah, not here. Yes. Okay, so this is my page if you're interested, if you had any questions, if you want some advices, just go in there. Okay, so this is what I'm doing right now. Yeah. Oh, guys, can we have the monitor? Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so this is my my fan page. if you're interested in. So yes. Okay, this is the one I'm working on right now, and this is the belt made of EVA foam. And as you can see, it has the base was the black one, the base, and those whites are these yellow ones. And those things here are made with that hot knife I told you about, just to make it look like something like this. And those are the resin gems. And this is kind of other story, but yes, you can do that, and it looks awesome if you put some LEDs in it, so it pops out. And yeah, there's some more armor, and it's already covered with the wood glue. This is the wood glue. Yeah, the process of it. Oh, there's a. Those are the workshops I held in Warsaw. We had 3 hours, so I could bring some more stuff for you guys to do the things, and people did those amazing things during the workshops. So I think you may try it as well at home. Oh, this is also EVA foam, the ears for this. You may use EVA foam for everything, actually. If you want something stiff and stable, you just use the EVA foam. Okay. This one, it's made with Wonderflex. So it's base of the EVA foam, and then covered with plastic Wonderflex, and it looks like it. But the base is made like this. Here we go with the props, and I used EVA foam to make some ornaments, like here on the wooden sword. Here we have some more styrofoam and some Worbla as well for the parts that should be very stable. Oh, yeah. And this is really lovely, and you can make some more amazing things like feathers and flowers, just bending the foam, heating it up and bending. Oh, so this shield is made with plastic dip. So it's made like this, but I knew that I will travel a lot with this shield, so I wanted it to be very durable for the travel. So I just covered it with plastic dip instead of the wood glue, and it's really nice. And you can fight with this, and nothing happens. And also the sword is the same thing. Oh, and this is the thing I showed you before. Like this. This is covered with plastic dip. It comes with some other colors, red, blue, yellow, but I think black is the most universal thing. So okay, and this is actually this technique, this exact technique, that it's covered with wood glue and painted, and then glossy finish at the end. Oh, this one, this is the Lulu stuff, and for the base I used some Worbla, like three layers of Worbla, and then I made some shapes of the EVA foam, covered it with glue and stuff. Yes, the same thing as goes for the hat piece. This one is covered with Warbler instead of Waterflex, and yeah, that was the only one time that I used Warbler, because I think it's really good when you want to get an ancient look like here, but it's really hard to get it smooth. It's a lot of work, so I just avoid it. Oh, there are some pouches for the Batgirl costume. This Batgirl, yeah. So you can buy some spray glue, spray adhesive. So you can cover it with it, and then glue it to the fabric you want. This was the fake leather, but you can use whatever you want, and just cut it around and glue on the other side, like here, and you have it. So I think you may use it for a lot of things. Okay, those feathers were also made with just a foam. It's just foam, nothing else. Yes. So I cut off the base and then covered it with feathers. Yeah. One more with that. Yeah, here we go with the. This is the helmet made of EVA foam, and then I covered it with Wonderflex, one by one, because it would be really hard to cover it with one piece, because I always try to do that, but this was the shape that was really tricky to do that, so I just tried to make some parts. Oh, you can see here. So this is underneath. There's EVA foam, and on the top is Wonderflex. Oh, so this is how you make patterns. If there's something missing, like it's too long or too big, you can always change it. And if it's too short, you can always glue over some other paper just to do that. You don't have to make everything from the beginning, right? So just save your time. Like here, it was too short, so I just glue it over. Some, like here. Oh, and this is also made of EVA foam, so you can even make a suitcase of that. And this one also, you have to get a good pattern, but if you have a good pattern, you can do anything, basically. Okay, it won't open anymore. So yes. This was covered with fabric as well, because it was the same color as the other elements of the costume, so I wanted it to be the same way made, even if it's more armory thing than my trousers or something, but I really want it to be the same. The look should be the same, like this and this. So yes, I made all of those from EVA foam as well, and yeah, I think it looks good. This is the full costume. Oh, this is the hardest part, I think. what else I can show you? Is there anything more? Yes, some more works on it. It's really good if you draw your plans when you make a costume, but this is another topic, but I think it's really important to know what you have to do. So try to sketch a bit. There are some parts covered with glue. You can see the brush strokes here. It was my first armor, so it was not really good. Oh, this is how I made shoes. I made the pattern, as I told you, from the tape, and I parted it for 4 parts. This is on the front, 2 parts on the front and 2 parts on the back. So you will get that shape, because it's really hard to get it in two pieces. Those parts also were made with Eva foam. And this is the whole shoes. Here, yeah, the whole thing's. And of course, I think the most important parts of the armor making with Eva foam is to make a good pattern, good shape, good proportions. And also the finish one, the painting. It can make your armor look amazing, or it can ruin everything. So this is really important. Oh, so yes, you have this, yes. It's not visible, yeah. So those little strokes I did with the hot knife, those bumps, like here, this. And this is the full road. Okay, so I think that's it. And if you have any questions, I can answer, yeah? Oh, I can hear you actually. Strapping, yeah, the fixing. Yeah, so you can fix it with the elastic strings, you know that? So you can put it here and just do something here. Or you can just glue the Velcro inside and glue the Velcro to your bodies, like to your shirt or your corset or whatever you want. And I prefer this method because you can't see the fixing. It's invisible because it's like, whoa, it's floating. It's not holding by anything. And you can use some more fixing, like the normal buckles for the belts. You may just do the belts or buy some. You can make some strings in here, like if you make a gauntlet, you can make you know, that corset-y linings. You can do that, and yeah, it's like if you can see that on the picture. Especially, a lot of designers forget about fixing the armor. So it's like it's floating on your body. So you have to come up with something. And I think the cosplay is about creativity and building things. Yeah, coming up with the idea how to do that is the most important thing. And yeah, I think the designers are giving us the opportunities to create something our own. But if you don't care about the design, you can just change it to make you feel more comfy with wearing it. So I think it's important if you just want to go around, not starting in such a competitions or something. But there are some designers that shows us how the things are made, how it's holding together. So I think it's really good to get some references, like if you make an medieval armor, you may just see how it is in real world, and you get some inspiration for that. You can see all the belts here, and yeah, here, how it's strapped. Yeah, this is also very helpful. I think, yeah, one of the most important parts of creating the whole costumes are the researches, because even if your character is from sci-fi or medieval or Asian style kimonos and stuff, there's always a reference for that. There's always an inspiration that designers took. So go and search for that. If you're making a 20s looking outfit, you may just go and search for the 20s fashion, how it looked like. For the patterns, you can get some advices for the patterns, for the fabrics to be used, materials to be used. So yes, just make your research. Even if you have your reference picture, it will help a lot. And about fixing as well. So you can see how it's made. And of course, it's very interesting, so I would recommend to do that. Okay, so any more questions? Yes? Plastidip, how to paint it? Yes, how to paint it with Plastidip. Well, Plastidip comes like here. So this is actually Plastidip. You can take it off if you want, like here. But it's really hard because you have to start at some point. So yes, Plastidip comes with a spray can, or you can have it in just normal can. So you can just, if you put that inside, it will be covered with Plastidip. So it's also kind of idea for doing that. And yeah, it's really easy to cover, as you can see. But you have to be, yeah, you have the colors here, really range way. You have to be very careful, because sometimes when you make the bubbles, you have to shake very, very, very good, because sometimes you get bubbles and those stays. And if you don't want that look very used and damaged, it will be really hard to get rid of it. So yeah, you probably should have done this and start over. So you have to be careful, and it cures kind of long, about an hour. So you have to wait another hour to get a new layer on it. But it's really, really awesome. It looks like that. You see that fracture. Oh, you can see the bubbles here. So it's not very good. Oh, so yeah, this is the foam without the Plastidip, and here's with the Plastidip. Yeah, you can get something like that. Okay. Yeah, so when you're making a wood glue priming, it would look like this. Don't panic, it's normal. It looks very ugly while making, but it will be transparent and will look very nice afterwards. Yes, so this is just after priming. It's all white. Oh, and important thing, you can sand it, and you can sand it with the rotary tools as well. So you can sand the edges nicely if something went wrong, like here, because it's not perfect, right? So you can sand it together, and it will be nicely blend. Okay, any more questions? Okay, if you had any, and will you have if you have any, and maybe if you will have any, you can join me at the cosplay stand there. Where's the flag? And I will answer all your questions and give you any advices if you plan any costumes that you have problems with, construction, fabrics, or materials.